Hey guys, thanks for watching the screencast for Aeneid Book 1, lines 200 to 209. Right before this section, Neptune has calmed the storm, and Aeneas and his remaining crew decide to head towards the nearest land, which happens to be in Libya. And so they land in Libya, and Aeneas goes out looking for his lost ships, but instead finds wild deer, which he kills and brings back to give to his crew. And so in this section, Aeneas has returned and is giving a motivational speech to his crew members while he gives the deer. And so in the journey, we are right here. Okay, so let's get started. Vos et Scyllaeum Rabium Penitusque sonantis Acestis Scopulos vos et Cyclopea saxa experti. Revocate animos maestumque timorem mitite. Forsan et haec olim meminisse juabit. Okay, so you approached both the rage of Scylla, or the Scyllanian rage, and the deeply sounding rocks, or crags. You have even experienced the Cyclopean rocks. Call your spirits back and send away your gloomy fear. Maybe even someday it will be pleasing to remember even these things. So here Aeneas is trying to encourage his crew to keep going by reminding them of all the things they went through and how they got through it. And Virgil continues to drop references to the Odysseus. Specifically here, he includes Scylla and the deeply sounding rocks, or Charybdis, which Odysseus also had to endure on his journey. These vos ets are an example of anaphora, and Aeneas does this to emphasize that they, his crew, went through all these hardships by saying that you approach this, you experience this. So yeah, and this sonates is modifying scopulos, and acestis is actually a syncopated perfect verb. It should be acestis because it's indicative, active, plural, perfect, but here it's acestis. And et is actually etiam, meaning even here, and revocate and mitite are both imperatives. Forsan et haec olim meminisse juabit is actually a famous phrase, and it's very hopeful and optimistic, and Aeneas is trying to say that perhaps someday they'll be able to look back at all these struggles and be pleased that they didn't give up. Okay, so per varios casus per tot discrimina rerum tendimus in Latium, sedes ubi fata quietas ostendent, illic fas regna resurgere Troiae. Alright, so through various falls, through so many dangerous situations, we're heading to Latium, where the fates reveal peaceful homes. There it is right for the kingdom of Troy to rise. Here Aeneas is very hopeful and tries to assure them that they have a bright future ahead, which is quite contrasting to what he feels inside, and we can see that in the next few lines. And that contrastingness is an example of chiasmus. And fas is actually an example of ellipsis, because it should be fas est, it is right. And regna is poetic plural because it's just one kingdom. And I'll read the translation out one more time. So, through various falls, through so many dangerous situations, we're heading towards Latium, where the fates have reveal peaceful homes. There it is right for the kingdom of Troy to rise. Durate et vosmet rebus servate secundus, talia voce refert, curisque in gentibus ager, spem vultus simulat, premit altum corde dolorem. So be firm and save yourselves for favorable times. He says such things with his voice, and sick with tremendous cares. He fakes in his face hope. He presses grief deep in his heart. So in these last two lines especially, we can see that internal conflict of Aeneas, who is trying to put on this hopeful face for his crew while trying to hide his pain and own fear deep down. So this whole section is an example of chiasmus, but especially the last two lines. So voce, voice, and vultu, face, are both contrasting to corde, heart, and spem and dolorem, hope and grief or pain, are also contrasting, and simulat and premit are paralleling each other. And this reverse structure where spem is here and dolorem at the end of the sentence clause, and vultu is in the middle here, and corde is in the middle of the second clause, and simulat and premit are paralleling each other. Virgil uses this structure to reflect how conflicted Aeneas is inside. And a few other grammatical things are that this vos met doesn't actually mean anything. It's just added to vos for emphasis, and it's usually added to other pronouns. So it could be like ego met, vos met, and all of that. And that's just there to add emphasis. So Aeneas is trying to put emphasis on the you, yourselves, and vultu and corde are both ablative of place where, and the fact that there is no conjunction between the clauses also makes it an example of a syndeton. So yeah, that's it for book one. Good luck on the test, and I hope this helps.